Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. For cruel Daisy crimes, Willow gets arrested and imprisoned. Let's discuss the recent dramatic disclosure and the potential repercussions for Willow Tate, who may be arrested and imprisoned for her recent crimes against Daisy Celeste, according to General Hospital spoilers. There has been conjecture that Daisy had a stalker ever since she entered the world. Fans knew someone wasn't supposed to be watching over the child, from Sasha Corbin receiving the wrong baby at the hospital to the new mother discovering the baby in a different onesie. When it was disclosed that Willow Tate was the one who was not only keeping an eye on Daisy from a distance but also reportedly removing her out of her crib and taking her for walks, many GH fans' suspicions were validated during the Tuesday, July 8th episode. Willow gently informed Daisy that she was angry with Michael Corinthos for stealing her children and Sasha Corbin for betraying her, and that it was time for them to feel the same way she did. Since she lost complete custody of Wiley and Amelia Corinthos, viewers of GH have witnessed Willow's mental health collapse. Willow has found it extremely difficult to accept that Michael has been granted sole guardianship of the children. In addition to stalking Daisy, she has deliberately attempted to run into Michael and Wiley in the Metro Court pool, which is absolutely against the judge's court order and out of character for her. In the end, Willow is breaching several important laws as she spirals emotionally, even though her heart is wounded. She should, first and foremost, avoid all contact with Daisy, much less removing her from her crib. Furthermore, she can get into a lot of trouble just for going into the Quartermaine estate without authorization. Even if some people believe Sasha is experiencing postpartum problems, just take a look at you, Olivia Quartermaine, the truth will finally surface, and the new mother will initially be accused of mental health problems. What then occurs when it does? Sasha and Michael will undoubtedly punish Willow to the fullest extent of the law and not let her get away with this. Sasha's Scorpio heritage and the fact that her uncle, Mac Scorpio, is the head of the Port Charles police force don't help either. Mac won't let Sasha and Michael go soft on Willow because she's the mother of Daisy's siblings. Having said that, there is also the issue of mental health. Some GH fans think Willow has dissociative identity disorder because she is obviously not doing well. This would account for Willow's strange recent actions. There's also a potential Willow could go to Ferncliff instead of prison if she is diagnosed with DID after the truth is out. According to General Hospital spoilers, Willow will be held accountable for her severe crimes against Daisy, Sasha, and Michael. Whether she ends up in jail or another facility, her children, Wiley and Amelia, will be excluded from her life for a very long time. General Hospital spoilers, how will Carly respond to Jocelyn's plan for Sunny's demise? Jocelyn Jack's covert mission with the WSB to overthrow Sonny Corinthos' empire may endanger her romance with Carly Spencer, according to General Hospital spoilers and updates. As Carly's life unravels, will this family betrayal rock Port Charles, and is the largest betrayal still to come? On a powder keg, Jocelyn lights the fuse. Jocelyn has just lit the fuse in Port Charles, which is poised on the brink of anarchy. The young lady Carly has raised to value family above all else is living a tragic double life that has the potential to destroy all her mother values. Jocelyn has disclosed to her handler Vaughn that, as an undercover WSB agent, her one and only purpose is to destroy Sonny Corinthos' criminal enterprise from inside. This goes beyond simple adolescent disobedience. When the truth is eventually revealed, the Corinthos family will be shocked by this willful act of betrayal. A daughter's rage is fueled by near-death experiences. Jocelyn's decision to join the WSB was not made carelessly, rather, it was influenced by traumatic events. Christina Corinthos Davis nearly died in the Charlie's Pub fire, which appears to have been the final straw following a string of disasters involving mobs. We will never forget Michael Corinthos' near-death experience and that penthouse explosion. Or Morgan Corinthos' tragic death, which still plagues this family. Before someone says enough is enough, how many more Corinthos children need to suffer? Jocelyn has had enough. Jocelyn is really serious about her decision to be that person. She has resources that Michael never would have thought to have when he recruited Dex Heller in his failed attempt to kill Sonny, and she has the full backing of the WSB. This time, the threat comes from someone with tactical expertise, political power, and a strong desire for justice. The mob boss won't expect his own stepdaughter to pose such a threat. Sonny expects Jocelyn to be angry against violence because she is a college student who was hurt by the murder of her partner. Explosive lies underpin Carly's romance with Jocelyn's boss. Talk about a relationship that was doomed from the start. Unaware that Jack Brennan has been training her daughter for dangerous clandestine tasks, Carly has been madly in love with him. Hold on, it gets worse. The man she has been bidding goodnight to is the same one who secretly recruited Jocelyn into the WSB. In addition to recruiting Joss, Brennan assisted in concealing the fact that she had slain Cyrus Renault in self-defense. He has been keeping big secrets regarding her daughter's involvement in a murder and the cover-up that followed, while Carly has been planning romantic dinners and dreaming of a future with him. Carly will have a nuclear meltdown when she finds out the truth. When Carly discovers this betrayal, she will have a nuclear meltdown, and the consequences will be disastrous. Imagine Carly's anger upon discovering that the man she trusted has been secretly cheating on her daughter. She will regret not taking him out to Bobby's with that serving dish when they first met. For considerably less, she has become a furious mama bear. There is no rage like Carly Spencer's when it comes to protecting her kids, so Brennan had better have a plan for escape ready this time. Is history repeating itself? It is difficult to ignore the parallels. Michael had previously hired Dex to infiltrate Sonny's organization and gather information for a prosecution. That plan didn't work out, but Jocelyn is now pursuing a different, far more ambitious approach. She is a skilled WSB agent with government resources and a handler pushing her forward, not just a civilian with a grudge. The fact that Jocelyn saw firsthand how Michael's plan affected their family only serves to highlight how tragic this betrayal is. She saw the rifts, the pain, and the impending breakup of relationships that took years to heal, and yet here she is, on the same route but with much more deadly weapons. Will Sonny live through the betrayal of his own children? The main distinction between Michael's decision to hire Des and Jocelyn to work for the WSB is that Jocelyn is dissolving the organization from the inside out, whereas Michael sought to protect his family from outside threats. Sonny has faced attacks from rival families, federal investigations, and even assassination attempts, but can he survive his own children's betrayal? His lifestyle has alienated people he claims to protect, and the trend is becoming too obvious to ignore. Jen Sidwell has launched a full-scale attack on Sonny, as if he wasn't already dealing with enough difficulties, right after his stepdaughter plots against him with the federal authorities. Christina was stuck in Charlie's tavern when the man set it on fire, and he is not playing around. A double-header, family betrayal and mob wars. It is dangerous enough to fight a war on two fronts, but what if one of them includes your own family? Sidwell is after Sonny's land, his power, and possibly even his life. That's a certain method to guarantee complete destruction. Sonny and Jason Morgan have been thinking about ways to leave the mob for years. Those conversations usually came to the same conclusion: there are too many enemies waiting to attack, and it is too dangerous to escape. The timing couldn't be worse as they now have to battle for their lives while dealing with internal betrayal. Or maybe it's the perfect time from Jocelyn's perspective. A weaker Sonny makes an easier target. Jocelyn could offer enough intel for a complete Sonny takedown. According to sources, Jocelyn could be able to provide ADA Justine Turner and Anna Devane with enough proof to condemn Sonny. We're talking about evidence that might result in a life sentence for him, not just a minor consequence. Additionally, she is gathering it while putting up a happy front during family gatherings, behaving as though nothing is wrong. We've seen Carly support Sonny through infidelity, shootings, and federal investigations. Port Charles should brace for a massive upheaval when she discovers her daughter's secret, which she will. Even when the entire world turned against him, she stayed faithful to him. This mother-daughter battle will shatter Port Charles. Carly has always argued that Sonny's involvement in the mob protects Port Charles from more dangerous crooks like Sidwell. He is the well-known devil, the one who protects hospitals and keeps narcotics out of schools, but would Jocelyn believe this after seeing Michael almost die in a fire? After Morgan was killed by mob-related violence, after Christina barely survived a deliberately started fire? The young woman who killed Cyrus in self-defense has already shown that she is willing to go to extreme lengths to protect the defenseless. Sonny, in her opinion, stands for the threat that needs to be eliminated. Carly will always pick Sonny. The mother-daughter conflict is expected to be explosive rather than nearly intense. Jocelyn will respond by claiming that Sonny is the true threat, while Carly will accuse her of putting the entire family in danger by removing their safety. Despite their intense love and willingness to do anything for each other, these two ladies will end up on different sides of an unbridgeable divide. Will their relationship last when Carly eventually sides with Sonny? Let's face it, we all know she will because she has already defended him against her own children. This time, though, Jocelyn has the support of the federal government, so she might succeed where Michael failed. This blow-up's fallout will change everything when this secret explodes. As secrets always do in Port Charles, the effects will be felt across the whole area. Jason will have to choose between his allegiance to Sunny and his comprehension of Jocelyn's point of view, and Sunny's other kids will have to choose a side. Nina Reeves will undoubtedly become involved in the drama that is developing, and Willow Tate and Drew Quartermaine will also be affected. But the relationship between Carly and Jocelyn might be the most important thing lost. How can you get over a mother who stands up for the man whose lifestyle nearly killed your siblings? Will forgiveness ever be granted to the mother and daughter? How can you forgive your daughter for trying to destroy your children's father? There are some betrayals that are too bitter to heal, and this might be one of them. One thing becomes clear as Sunny is surrounded from all sides, Sidwell is stepping up his attacks, and Jocelyn is gathering evidence. The Corinthos Empire is facing its greatest threat. Sunny's collapse may come from inside, not from rival families or federal investigators, but rather from the family he would stop at nothing to protect. Can Sunny survive when his own stepdaughter betrays him? Will Carly discover Jocelyn's truth in time to stop it? Will the Corinthos family as we know it come to an end? The real question is not if this scenario will blow up, but rather whether Port Charles will alter forever once the truth is out. When the dust settles, the question is whether anyone will still be standing. General Hospital spoilers for the next 3 weeks, Mac's mission, Drew's sabotage, and Britt's return. As Jocelyn Jax takes a rebellious turn, General Hospital teasers and updates for the upcoming 3 weeks, July 7th to 25th, hint that Britt Westbourne's spectacular comeback will begin. Let's talk about what's in store for us, including a matchmaking plotline and some intricate romantic entanglements. Cody turns up the heat. Mac turns matchmaker Lulu Spencer will vent her resentment on Brooklyn Quartermaine throughout the week of July 7th to 11th. The reason for this is that Rocco Falconeri was able to see that Britt file. Cody Bell will step up his efforts in relation to Christina Corinthos Davis' seduction scheme while Brooklyn attempts to defend her behavior in the face of Lulu's wrath. Mac Scorpio, meantime, won't be aware of Cody's efforts to win Ava Jerome over. Instead, Mac will decide to act as a matchmaker for Cody and Molly Lansing Davis after noticing their obvious chemistry. Rick's invitation, Lucas' favor, and Drew's warning Lucas Jones will be asking Carly Spencer for a favor after Rick Lansing extends an invitation to Elizabeth Baldwin to spend more time with him. This may have something to do with Lucas's attempts to learn more about the nature of the disagreement between Sunny Corinthos and Jen Sidwell and how serious it could get. While Willow Tate prepares for a potential negotiation with Michael Corinthos, Drew Kane will warn her. If Willow wants to have visitation with the kids in the future, Michael will make his terms clear and lay out his expectations for her. Michael might want to postpone or perhaps cancel Willow and Drew's wedding. Lulu and Laura's heart-to-heart, Trina's indignation, and Drew's sabotage. It appears like Drew will be busy thwarting Curtis Ashford's plan with Jacinda somewhere in town, regardless of the outcome of that meeting. When Trina Robinson learns that Kai Taylor told Drew, she will become enraged. According to GH spoilers, Lulu will discuss her family's current problems with Laura Collins. Lulu will be discussing how she handled Rocco Falconeri's flurry of questions about Britt and his birth story. It seems clear that Rocco will struggle even after his parents have given him an explanation. Rocco's audacious step, Joe's assistance, Brooklyn's retaliation after Rocco's audacious move. There might be concerns about him the week of July 14th. If he disappears, Lulu and Dante Falconeri may be desperate to find him. We'll see if Giovanni Gio Palmieri eventually gives his half-brother back to Dante and Lulu, as he might help with the hunt for Rocco. In the meantime, Brooklyn will face more criticism for the whole Rocco situation. In addition to dealing with Lulu and Dante's rage, Brooklyn will now have to deal with complaints from Harrison Chase and perhaps even Sunny, since she hurt his kid. Selena's setup, Sunny's Sidwell feud, and Dalton's secrets. In spite of this, Sunny will be very busy with his battle with Sidwell. Like Jason Morgan, Sunny would surely come to the conclusion that Sidwell must have planned the Selena Wu event at the bar. However, Professor Henry Hank Dalton may be in danger of having his secrets revealed. Furthermore, the Kelly Thiebaud plotline is anticipated to begin soon and may have something to do with Professor Dalton's research and the secrets he conceals in the lab. Whether she will play a different role or return as Britt is still up in the air. Jocelyn's Rogue, Jason's Investigation, and Kelly Thibault's premiere. Kelly Thibault is expected to make a comeback to the screen before the end of July, most likely the week of July 21st to 25th. Jocelyn is about to lose it in her WSB inquiry, which could lead to some bombshell Brit-related disclosures. Will Thibault play the real Brit or perhaps a clone? Jason will eventually become entangled in this Brit drama since Anna Devane has assigned him the responsibility of investigating Professor Dalton as well. In the meantime, Michael's custody triumph may be in jeopardy because of the judge bribery scandal and the discovery that Michael's success in court was not genuine. Could Drew find out about this startling knowledge and use it against Michael later on? Is Morgan Corinthos still alive, or is he haunting his father's last battle? Not all Port Charles ghosts remain buried. When they have unresolved business, no. Not when people they left behind are still hearing their name. And not when a mob war is building and their memory is turned into a weapon. This time, it's a ticking clock, a coded reminder from beyond, and a single name that lights up the internet, Morgan. It's not whispers or hazy memories that are chilling Sonny Corinthos to the bone. Is something, or someone, about to come back, or is the Corinthos son really gone? Until the actor who previously brought Morgan Corinthos to life, Brian Craig, dropped a social media bombshell that left fans gripping their phones. His Instagram account featured a straightforward screenshot of an iPhone alarm clock with the words Morgan Corinthos written on it and set for 6:47 a.m. And underneath that, in a strange manner, IYKYK. No explanation. No justification. Longtime viewers of General Hospital, however, didn't need any more. The message came as a clap of thunder. Additionally, curiosity erupted as Morgan's name began to appear more regularly on the show in recent weeks. Was this a nod to Craig's own history? Or something like a breadcrumb that leads to Morgan's resurrection? A name that will never die in soap operas, the dead never really die. Particularly not when their name starts to resurface in whispered discussions, jumbled recollections, and emotional monologues. In recent months, Sonny, Carly, and even Ava have all uttered Morgan's name. Morgan's influence has plagued Port Charles in a number of ways, from memories in the kitchen of Corinthos to the rooftop where Sonny once contemplated suicide. Sonny's hallucination was the last time we saw Morgan, if you can call it that. Sonny pictured his son emerging from the darkness and begging him not to leap at a low, cruel moment. Fans were shaken by the 2024 rooftop scene, not only because of its emotional impact but also because of how authentic it seemed. Perhaps it was more than a case of grief. The explosion that killed Morgan, and the questions that remain after a vehicle bomb went off in 2016, Morgan Corinthos was thought to be dead. Julian Jerome owned the car, but the intended recipient was Sonny, who was always the target and the danger. Morgan disappeared in the flames because he was in the wrong location at the wrong moment. There was no body discovered. There is nothing solid left. Only ash and fire, and sorrow. But according to soap opera legend, it's never the end. Fans have conjectured that Morgan might still be alive, drugged, incarcerated, or concealed by a mysterious figure, for almost 10 years. Stories like that have happened before. Jason. Good fortune. Nicholas, too. A fresh notion is now emerging like smoke from a long-dead flame as science once again enters the soap opera story. The clone theory, and Professor Henry Hank Dalton's web comes in. Strange medical research, rumors of WSB involvement, and a covert lab where ethics were long neglected have all been connected to the name of the recluse doctor. Since Britt Westbourne's unexplained reappearance, theories concerning cloning, genetic reconstruction, and memory mapping have been circulating. Questions were raised by Britt's return. Is she a scientifically modified version of Britt, or is she the real thing? Fans are already speculating, will Morgan be the next? The prospect of a Morgan clone is not speculative if Dalton's lab survived, or worse, is still in use. Not in Port Charles. No more. Could it be that Morgan was cloned years ago? Could a dark scientist-shaped version of him be making his way back into town? Or even worse, has Morgan been reconstructed to be used against his family rather than to reconcile with them? It's no accident that this new Morgan rumor is surfacing at the same time as Sonny Corinthos is going through the most perilous period of his life. War has been declared by Jen Sidwell. Furthermore, Sidwell is distinct from Sunny, who has previously been targeted by numerous villains. Tactical. Be patient. And frightfully related. He holds Sunny accountable for the passing of Natalia Ramirez. Even though the autopsy results are still unclear, he is certain that Sunny planned her demise. He wants to return the wreckage that Sunny left behind after seeing it. Sunny has previously escaped 2 attempted murders. He is losing supporters. He is witnessing his kids being dragged into the flames. If Morgan, or any version of Morgan, was ever going to make a comeback, it was now. Either as a ghost, a hallucination, or something quite different. Will it be resurrection or hallucination? The Morgan speculations are based on 3 possibilities. 1. Morgan resurfaces in spirit or hallucination. Sunny might be forced to the brink once more. A close call with death. A touch of hopelessness. Morgan emerges as recollection, not as flesh and blood, in that liminal realm between life and death. As a caution. As affection. 2. Morgan was abducted following the explosion, although he has been alive the entire time. Secretly held by a rogue agency or the WSB. Maybe they experimented. Maybe he's recovered. In any case, a genuine Morgan, wounded but alive, could return to the light. 3. Dalton's lab is the wild card, and Morgan is either a clone or a scientific invention. What would happen if they copied Morgan? What if it was ordered, as a weapon against Sunny, maybe? Would Morgan come back to be betrayed or used as bait? Can Sunny and Carly manage the emotional fallout? There is no doubt that Morgan's reappearance will break Sunny and Carly's hearts. Carly might break down because she buried her sadness with fierce loyalty and even more fierce business actions. She waited endlessly for Morgan, the youngster. She has always felt guilty about how he died, or didn't die. What about Sunny? He has always returned to that car bomb at the end of his self-destruction journey. The weight in his silences and the phantasm on his palms are Morgan's blood. Real or not, seeing his son again might cause him to lose his mind. Or save him. Then, what was 6:47? The time on Brian Craig's screenshot is still up for debate among fans. Was it a joke that was told inside? A code? Some people think it's 6:47 a.m. was when Morgan's vehicle blew up during the first telecast. Others believe it alludes to a GH airdate in the future. Some people believe it has no significance at all. However, this is General Hospital. Nothing is ever pointless. And no name just happens to resurface. One thing is certain, Morgan Corinthos is coming, whether it be in the form of a physical being, a phantom, or a pharmacological miracle. The post from Brian Craig wasn't only a hint. A flare was launched into the air. Hell is about to befall Sunny. And the only light remaining in the darkness might be his son's ghost. Geo breaks up a fight, Willow the Daisy Stalker, and more. A startling revelation was made on GH today, Willow is Daisy's stalker. Geo Palmieri breaks up a brawl, and Sasha Corbin becomes terrified when she can't find her baby. Additionally, when Rocco Falconeri demands clarification, Jason Morgan tells him about Britt Westbourne. When Sasha gets home and realizes Daisy Gilmore is gone from the nursery, she rushes downstairs in a panic, only to find the baby not in the bassinet. She tells Michael Corinthos that the baby has vanished as she dashes outdoors. They look all around the house and the grounds but are unable to locate her. Olivia and Ned Quartermain arrive at the Q mansion, discover the baby is gone, and call the police. Felicia and Max Scorpio kiss and discuss their post-work dinner plans at PCPD. I'm relieved that Christina Corinthos Davis was not hurt in the fire, she tells Molly Lansing Davis. Mac brings Cody Bell up to Molly. Max says he's a terrific catch and is grateful for his assistance. Molly concurs that he is a fine man, but Felicia is uncomfortable since she knows her husband is attempting to arrange marriages. A policeman then comes along and tells Mac that a kidnapping may have occurred. When Harrison Chase and the cops show up with questioning, everyone at the Quartermains gathers. Michael feels bad about taking the camera out of the nursery. Following the incident in which Willow Tate and Drew Kane were seen on camera engaging in sexual activity on the nursery floor, he had it taken off. As Olivia discovers Daisy in the kitchen, Sasha tells Chase about the bizarre developments, including the fact that she was switched with another baby at the hospital and that someone activated the phone while she was taking a shower. Everyone rushes in as Sasha holds the baby, tears streaming down her face, and Olivia yells from the kitchen that the baby is there. The men search the area again after she tells everyone she didn't lose her kid, but they appear doubtful. Chase says that there were no signs of forced entry when the men returned, and everyone else leaves except for Chase. Olivia speculates that Sasha may be having postpartum problems. As they head to bed, Michael will investigate, keeping an eye on Sasha, the infant, and Chase. Lulu Spencer slaps Brooke Lynn Quartermain across the face in the boathouse, accusing her of being the same dishonest liar she has always been. Lulu then admits that Rocco found the file, shocking Brooke Lynn, who defends herself by saying that what Lulu did was much worse. She wasn't supposed to discover it, and Lulu clarifies that although she intended to be honest with Rocco, circumstances have complicated everything. Brooke Lynn calls Lulu a hypocrite and reminds her of what she did to Gio. They quarrel about who is more cruel, with Brooke Lynn pointing out that it was documented in the public domain. She gained access to files in Martin Gray's room after breaking in, disclosing information she was not legally allowed to know. Gio breaks up and argue as Lulu yells that Brooke Lynn had no power. The two ladies continue to argue and exchange angry words until Gio arrives. When Lulu reveals what Brooke Lynn done, they argue, and Lulu says she will never forgive her. "Cut it out," he yells. While Brooke Lynn maintains that none of her charges were true and that she never meant to hurt Rocco, she storms off. When Gio learns that Rocco discovered the file and discovered that he was carried by a surrogate in such manner without his parents' knowledge, he laughs. He's angry because he thinks he had good reason to keep Brooke Lynn out of his life and wonders why she looked for these records. When Jason discovers Rocco at home, he demands him to tell him what he knows about Britt. He shows him the birth certificate and explains that he is aware that Britt took the embryo and gave birth to him. When Rocco asks about Britt's character, Jason, who wasn't in town and didn't know her at the time, admits that he had feelings for her and that she had changed after making some mistakes. Rocco claims that he wouldn't be here without her. Jason tells him that his parents adore him. Britt acknowledges that he changed her and feels hurt thinking about the past. She realized her actions were wrong and felt sad about giving up Rocco, even though she loved him, which astonished her. Jason thinks she would be proud of Rocco's current state. After Jason leaves, he meets Lulu outside and explains why Rocco called him. When Lulu hears him refer to Britt as a decent person, she starts to yell, and he replies that this is what Rocco needed. At Sidwell's home on Spoon Island, Marco Rios tells his father that they are classifying his mother's death as accidental. Both of them question the veracity of this allegation. Sidwell and Marco talk about Sunny and retaliation for Natalia's alleged murder. Marco holds himself accountable for the incident. They discuss Natalia Ramirez's new life, which Sunny Corinthos made possible, but they think she was dangerous to him. Sidwell proposes to hold Sunny accountable for her passing, claiming that he wouldn't let Natalia cause him any more problems. The father and son promise that Sunny will not be spared the repercussions of this circumstance. Christina and Alexis talk about Ava and Rick interjects at home. Alexis Davis notices Christina Corinthos Davis deep in contemplation, and she considers how helpful her mother has been. Chrissy realizes that Alexis's statement that she has encountered numerous difficulties and that they have all been too much for her to handle has not justified anything. They discuss about how great Molly is with Cody and how she brings out the best in him. Alexis doesn't justify it, but her love for her daughter is still strong. They want Rick and Ava to break up, and when Rick unexpectedly shows up at Alexis' house, he intends to have a private conversation with her and Christina. When he sees Christina, he shifts his strategy and asks whether Molly is there. They tell him she isn't, and he leaves after expressing satisfaction that Christina is safe following the fire. Elizabeth Baldwin and Portia Robinson are delighted to have taken a vacation from their jobs to watch the fireworks together at Metro Court, when Rick rudely interrupts them. They talk about Joel Sartor's opening, and Rick invites Elizabeth to the symphony the following week. She loves Gershwin, and it's Gershwin. While Liz apologizes to Portia and says she wants to spend time with her friend, he gets a call and moves away. When Rick gets back, he needs to go right away, and Liz feels bad about leaving. Portia wants to know how Liz feels about Rick. Although Liz finds him entertaining, she thinks it would be best to dissuade him. Portia realizes that Rick was only carrying out his duty by assisting Heather Weber in getting her freedom. Nina checks in on Ava. Nina Reeves is surprised to see the walls vacant at the Jerome Gallery. Joel Sartor is supposed to open tomorrow, right? Ava is working on installing the new lighting and knows she is running out of time. Nina offers to help, but Ava says no. They discuss Nina's intention to keep Willow from marrying Drew Kane by delaying her. On the morning of the divorce hearing, Ava describes what transpired. She says he was with Elizabeth, which suggests that he wasn't totally committed to the hearing. Ava is reluctant to break up with him even if Nina tells her to do so if he cheats because he's fun, gorgeous, and they usually make a good couple. While Drew is in Washington, D.C., Nina rushes to meet Willow for drinks, but when Rick unexpectedly shows up at the gallery, Ava confronts him about his lies. He wants explanations after the Cayman's bank manager tells him that 2 of the funds have been overdrawn. Ava clarifies that she needed the money for the lighting. That's better than the lighting in Pentonville, where they might end up if she keeps wasting money, he says. In response, she reveals that Laura Collins saw him at Liz's house. She is aware that Rick lied to her. After Rick leaves, Cody approaches Ava. Rick gave her some juice and attempts to appease her, but she doesn't like his falsehoods. He yells at her once more about stealing money, and she ejects him. When Cody Bell shows up with his equipment, he tells Rick that Ava hired him to put in shelves. While Rick leaves after saying he'll see her at the performance tomorrow, he starts working. As they work, Cody leans in and gives Ava a kiss, which she returns. Then, she takes a step back, and he asks if that was okay. He apologizes for misinterpreting her intentions, and she assures him that they can still work together. She responds that it was a really nice kiss, but it cannot happen again. Felicia chastises Mac for matchmaking at the Metro Court pool when Willow flashes back to snagging Daisy. Nina interrupts Portia and Liz, asking if they have seen Willow. When they say they haven't, she leaves, and the women talk about Liz declining Lucky Spencer's proposal. After finding a table, Nina hears Willow saying she's on her way. When Willow gets there, Nina asks her how she got there. Willow remarks that the journey went smoothly and reminisces about removing Daisy from her cradle and informing her that she will now betray her parents since they failed her. Later, while Mac is on the phone at the PCPD, Felicia tells Molly to ignore Mac's efforts to set her up. Mac then comes back to let them know that the baby has been located. He asks Molly to supper with him, Felicia, and Cody. When Molly leaves, Felicia chastises Mac for his coercion. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.